Hey YouTube, 3D Printed Life here, with an update regarding not so much changes I've made to my 3-up, but more future changes that I plan to make and when I plan to make them. Now, as most of you probably will know at this point, I have shipped out one batch of the 3-up kits as the beta batch. I have heard pretty good things so far, no major issues, and I actually did get one of the participants, Brian. He got some pretty good prints from his printer so far. He's been having some trouble with his hot end and printing with that, more so than the printer itself, but he's been getting some pretty good smaller prints. So that was pretty exciting for me to see, just to see that other people are getting prints as good as I'm getting, or at least getting there. And also, I did hear of definitely one. I forget, there might have been 2 people who actually have assembled this printer on their own. One of them, I'm sorry, I completely forget names. I talk to way too many people every day. They actually said that instead of using the single LM8 LUU bearing, like I'm using here from the 2-up in this Y gantry, they actually used 2 of the LM8 UU, the shorter bearings, and they put them side by side, and I guess they modified this piece or something in order to accommodate them, and they said that it made the gantry much more rigid. The reason I am not going to be doing that is because it will drive the price probably about $10 each kit. I might have it be like an optional upgrade at some future point, but I don't really know. I may do some testing because those bearings are not super expensive. And I know the bearings that the 2-up came with are pretty cheap, but I'm just trying to work with as much as reusing the old parts as possible to keep the prices low. If you have seen the bill of materials lately, or gotten contacted by me about prices, I've actually been able to get down the price of the hardware quite a bit thanks to somebody pointing out this website, Trimcraft Aviation, which sells all these fasteners, these different sized bolts and nuts for ridiculously low prices. So thank you very much for pointing that out, because I was able to cut down the price of hardware by about $20, and as a result I can keep the price of the kits the same, even though I am essentially contracting out to people in order to print these parts for me. Speaking of which, for the next batch, I have 2 people printing sets for me. Each of them is printing 1 set. I already have confirmation that one of the sets is complete, and I'm just waiting on the other one to be completed, and those are going to be shipped out to me eventually, probably pretty soon. And then I will be printing 2 of the sets myself, and I haven't started too much. I have a few little odds and ends in that box way down there, but I'm really waiting for my E3D to come in, which it should be back, or it should be in about a week or so, I'm guessing. And at that point I already have a new extruder printed out for the E3D. It's got a bigger groove, and so hopefully I will be getting some more reliable prints at that point, because right now this Anubis hot end keeps sort of jamming up on me, but not completely. So I've been getting some prints, which this one, come over here. It's been just spotty at the top layers, and it's like this all the way through. This was meant to be a solid print, but every layer was pretty spotty. And that's just because the hot end is not really all that high quality, and the diameter of the nozzle is probably not exactly 0.4 millimeters. So all that together just causes some issues. Now, here is a little bit of the future about the 3-up itself and not orders. What I plan on doing is quite a bit with wire management and with just sort of prettying up the printer over the next month or 2. This is mainly going to be after I get out the next batch and I have some free time, because I'm not going to start doing the 3rd batch until I am well into school, so that I don't have to worry about this for the first week or 2 of school. But when I have free time, and hopefully I will have quite a bit of it, because homework tends to be pretty low towards the start of a semester, I'm going to be working on 3 main things. The first main thing is going to be this, which is very easy because it's already pretty much done. It's essentially just chain wire management, which is completely 3D printed, which is awesome. This whole printing all these parts will cost about $1, so it's very, very good. And this is going to be going mounting at this corner and be coming over to this gantry, and this is just going to hold this little bundle of wires. Now, to go along with this, I'm also going to be relocating this end stop to go over here so that all of these wires on this one gantry, and they can all go through that the NanoLinks stuff. And so nothing to worry about there. There will be no loose wires because this will be over with that. So all of the wires will be guided through that single chain, which will be very, very nice and will make the printer look much neater. Secondly, I'm going to be working on a spool holder because right now, excuse me, you need a standalone spool holder in order to use your printer, sort of like with the 2-up. But I've been brainstorming some ideas. I don't have anything that is like a surefire, definitely going to work really well idea yet. But I will be doing some experimenting. That one's going to take a little bit more time. And hopefully I'm going to be having something that will mount this spool on the back, sort of like this, and it'll be raised off the back a little bit for something that I'm about to mention. And hopefully it'll just be sturdy and allowed to spin freely. And then I might do a little mounting or some kind of clampy thing if you want to have PTFE tubing to go up and to go over to the extruder, just to make it look neater, so that the filament is guided all the way in and there's no unnecessary strain and any of that stuff. And the final thing, this is the big one, I found somebody who has a freaking huge laser cutter, and I talked to them, and they are willing to help me with printing out, cutting out enclosures for the 3-up. So how this is going to work is it's going to be, the orders will be completely through him. If you want the enclosure, you just pay him through PayPal or whatever. He would cut it out and then ship it straight to you. So it's not going through me at all, so it's not going to be any more expensive than it has to be. But before all that, he is going to be essentially selling me panels that I'm going to design, and I'm going to test them out on my printer here, and then once I can verify that they work good, that they don't interrupt with anything, that the holes are all lined up for the power switch and this stuff, and that I still need to figure out how I'm going to mount it, because that is definitely going to be slightly more difficult. I know that for sure these pieces, these are 2 slots. They technically only have to be 1, but I did think ahead a little. If you unbolt these and then you rotate them 90 degrees, you will have a slot along the top. So that will make mounting to this top frame super easy. As for the rest, I don't exactly know yet. I will be trying to figure that out. I know this 3-slot piece can also be flipped around so that the slot is on the outside, but I still have to figure out something for down here. So yeah, I'm going to have to be doing some work with that. But the good news is the cost of the material is pretty low. Cost of shipping is decent. And of course, it's going to be marked up a little bit just so that he actually makes some profit from it, so he's not just cutting out things for free. But it's looking right now like the price for a full enclosure of either clear is a little bit cheaper, or you can get, I believe he said, black, white, red, and then maybe blue. I'm sure you can get more colors if there's enough demand, but so that it's going to probably cost somewhere around $40 to $50, and then add shipping on top of that. So it shouldn't be much more than $60 max for the full plexi enclosure, which would be pretty cool. And also, hopefully that will include a panel that will go sit on here, which will cover up this belt and just any of that icky stuff down there, so that it's nice and clean looking on the inside. That's all going to have to still be developed further, obviously, but hopefully that will be, or I can start working on that soon, and I can get some prototypes together, and then I can hopefully start offering that to be sold through him. So that would be pretty awesome, because as I mentioned before, I think I have, if I were to order it through sites, even if I were to order like 10 sets of the printed enclosures, they would end up costing me about $80 each, which means I'd have to sell them for probably around 90, because you have to factor in the shipping and all that stuff. So basically, this is just going to save a ton of money for everybody, and he's going to make some money off of it, and it's just going to be good news for everyone. If you have ordered already or are going to order a kit and you would be interested in ordering an enclosure too, let me know down below, and then also let me know about what price you would like to see for it, because we are both still trying to figure out a price together. He said he didn't really care too much, so whatever the demand is, if people are willing to pay $50 for the set and then plus shipping, then that'll probably be the cost. If that seems like too much, can figure something out. I don't know. But that's pretty much it. So thank you all for watching this video about all the future stuff that's going to be going on with the 3-Up. If you have any suggestions for the 3-Up itself, for either how to mount the enclosure, how to do the spool holder, anything like that, feel free to let me know. If you want to design it on your own, feel free to go ahead and design it. You can post it online. I will definitely be posting links to all the user-created mods that people can download on the main forum page, and definitely give you a shout out in a video. So if you want to do that, you can, but I'm going to stop babbling now, and I will go. I'll catch you later.